analysis. Just going to make sure that we're live on YouTube also. Good, we're live on YouTube. Great. All right. I think we're good to go. I'll just start sharing my screen and I will tell you what the agenda for today is going to be. You can call me Krunal, by the way. Sir is too formal. It's fine. I am. You can just say that yes, Krunal. It's fine. It's good. Just a minute. I'll stop sharing. I'll have to enable DND mode because otherwise I'm going to get bombarded by notifications very soon. Great. All right. So let's look at the markets. So I will just go to Nifty and Bank Nifty. Nifty or Bank Nifty में जाते हैं. How many of y'all know about TradingView? How many of y'all use TradingView? Because if not, then maybe I can tell you how TradingView works and some good tips. We did that last week. Last week हम लोग ने देखा कि TradingView कैसे कोई interesting features है TradingView में जो मैं काफी use करता हूँ. So if you all were there last week, then well you would know that. Otherwise, अगर नहीं पता है, then we can do a quick sort of look at that also. I use Zerodha. Zerodha is also good, of course, but Zerodha charts are basically TradingView charts or chart IQ. So Zerodha has two types of charts. Generally, if you see, there are two charting tools. One is chart IQ and the other is TradingView. These are the two popular web-based charting tools. दोनों ही अच्छे, ऐसा नहीं है that one is better than the other, but personally I prefer TradingView because the functionality is a lot better. Plus I can publish ideas and I can share my views and all. As you can see, this is TradingView's own social media platform of sorts. So it's good if you want to keep a record or a diary of sorts of all your ideas. Yes, the market is finally up. That's good. Hi Angad, how are you? I'm a trader too, fairly used to this. Great. Rama Steel stop loss. Okay, I'll look at Rama Steel's chart eventually. पहले तो हम यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं that Nifty and Bank Nifty, first of all, they were around open, around 9:10 or so, they were plus 235 points gap up as indicated by the pre-open. Or around 8:30 a.m. को what SGX was showing is 255 points. Now, why do you think this is the case? मैंने actually मेरे YouTube video में भी बताया था. So every single day I upload a YouTube video and उसमें I said that yesterday DJIA or US 30 was actually positive. In general, global cues were up. Yet our market was down. हम लोग का market नीचे था, but नीचे जाने के बाद भी it was giving a higher low. So overall, what my view was that maybe there are two chances. If we do see 16,900 being respected, then मेरा view था that maybe we might try to catch up to the global indices because typically Indian markets have been fairly strong so far. If you look at the global markets में जो तबाही मच गई है, that is not as bad as what we're seeing in the Indian market. So I thought that maybe we'll try to play catch up. Or for SGX भी at that time I believe it was 70 points in the green. And then overnight, of course, things changed and it became even more positive. So if you're wondering how you can track SGX Nifty, money control पे जाओ. Money control पे global markets आता है यहाँ पे. And global markets के अंदर you get all the relevant indices. For example, here you can see even European markets are very positive. FTSE, which is the UK index, we can see it's up 1.5%. Right? We can see the French index and what the German index are also up by a lot. US markets were up by a lot. SGX Nifty naturally is up right now because our market is also up. Asia is up except for Hang Seng. So overall market में बहुत सारी bullishness है आज. And in a way it is a little sus because you might think कि इतना नीचे आने के बाद एक दिन अचानक से bullish हो गया है. What is the what is the chance that it stays this way? Of course, that is going to be a question. But that's something that we'll have to wait and watch. मेरा view overall क्या था कि if we break this 17,200 level that has acted as a very strong resistance, then my view was that maybe we do see some sort of a bullish bias. And I feel as of now it might be the case. So maybe हम लोग 17,500 की ओर जाए. हाँ, sure, there will be bumps along the way, of course. But maybe the bias has at least stayed bullish for now, because यहाँ पे we saw a range being formed and then that range has now broken. Right, so that would be my view on Nifty so far. Right now it's 1508, 17,278 पे है Nifty. So obviously likely closes somewhere in this region itself. But अगर हम बात करें the story so far in a way, then my view would be that Bank Nifty की अगर बात करें, then for Bank Nifty we can see it's actually outperformed Nifty. We can see it's up 2.86% compared to Nifty, which is up 2.31%. In general, banks थोड़े से defeated थे, which is possibly why they're catching up right now. और हम लोग देख सकते हैं that right around 39,100 is where it's facing resistance. And 39,100 happens to be the 23.60 fib level. कौन सा fib है ये? This is the fib that I have taken. From here to here, if we take the fib, then we get 23.6 level, and we can see 38.2 से support लिया था. अगर हम थोड़ा सा zoom in करते हैं, then what we can see is that a similar resistance was actually broken today. Then it actually took good support somewhere around here, around 38.8k, और उसके बाद हम लोग 39,100 to 150 से resistance ले रहे हैं. Now I feel what is important here इसकी जो in general ये वाला जो zone है 39,000 का, अगर उसके ऊपर रह सकता है, then I feel there is a very good chance we might see banks again regaining the bullish bias. But in terms of stocks, in terms of trades, I feel a more conservative approach would be to still hold and see क्या होता है, because again it's just a very abrupt positive day today. Picture अभी बाकी है. For all we know, maybe this gap ends up becoming a problem, and right around 17,300 is where we see Nifty pulling back again, because अब तक हम लोग ने क्या देखा है, this is going to be a little one way for now, but don't worry, we'll open up the floor for questions also. अब तक हम लोग ने देखा है कुछ ऐसा है. Now the fact that this level was broken is a good sign, but ये level टूट के अगर यहाँ से फिर से वो resistance ले लेता है, then it means कि Nifty will be range bound yet again, and then we'll have to see कहाँ range break होती है. But if it's actually able to break, then obviously the likely target again becomes somewhere around 18k, which would be obviously the more bullish outlook. So let's see how things go. Piramal Enterprise, yeah, we'll look at a lot of charts, don't worry. That's there for a different part of the video. I'm just trying to make sure that YouTube is live as well. Everyone on YouTube being able to see this thing. I hope I'll open YouTube on my phone also. Sometimes what happens is technical problems happen, और उसके बाद फिर मेरे को YouTube पे कभी-कभी live जाने का problem होता है and such. Just trying to see. Okay, I can hear me. Good. That's good. That's a relief. Lack of technical problems is always going to make me happy. So this is what the indices are looking like right now. अभी हम लोग थोड़ी सी बात करते हैं about your questions. Let's while taking a look at the indices and the top stocks, let's also look at some questions that you may have. So any questions, please feel free to ask, YouTube and Creator both. Renuka Sugars a good buy. Again, at this stage, see, unless the sector in general is doing well, I would say कि थोड़ा सा cautious रहो, because otherwise what can happen is that the market is still choppy and maybe there is a chance it might not really go with the flow. For instance, यहाँ पे Renuka Sugar में we can see this is the resistance and this is the support. अभी फिलहाल क्या हो रहा है that this is how prices are moving. As of now, it has not broken out. Neither is it showing some good signs for a breakout, because हम लोग देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे typical there is like a distribution pattern of sorts happening, and maybe there is a chance we retest this level and then it goes up. Obviously the bias is bullish, but maybe it's not just at that point yet. Okay, Rama Steel was also one of the things. Let's take a look at that. Any other general questions you can ask? By the way, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, and you're also following me on Instagram, because I've posted a lot of reels and YouTube shorts. They're doing pretty well. So I think a lot of people are getting good value from them also. So dekh lo, check it out. Maybe you will find good value as well. My YouTube is Stock Markets with KR. I'll show it to you in some time. My Instagram is also the same. For Rama Steel, यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, see, if you want a stop loss, price is at 110. I would say there is at least roughly 12% SL minimum. Because अगर आप देखते हो, maybe an aggressive stop would be somewhere around here, given कि that is like a shooting star pattern like so. इसके लो के नीचे आप एक stop रख सकते हो if you want to be a little aggressive with your stops. But if you want to be conservative, ideally ये लो के नीचे रखो, because there is a chance that the low is respected. So not a very favorable RR trade if you take the larger stop. But if you take the aggressive stop, and if you have conviction for some reason, then ठीक है. Moving averages देखते हैं, we can see it's around 50 MA, which is a good sign. Typically 50 MA trades are fairly decent. So वैसे देख सकते हो आप. Any other stocks that we've got? Piramal Enterprises. Piramal में we can see here that it's fallen a lot in general. हम लोग देख सकते हैं practically since September it's been in a downtrend. Market wide we saw a problem somewhere around October of 2021. But Piramal has started underperforming right from September itself. Overall he थोड़ा सा weak था. And what we can see is कि it's come back to levels that we saw previously in 2021. In fact हम लोग देख सकते हैं that this was the pre-COVID high, and it's now below the pre-COVID high also. We can see post-COVID recovery का जो हमारा recovery का phase था यहाँ पे, उस level पे आ गया है. In that sense, yes, PEL is a good stock because it's come down by a lot. But if you talk about whether it has momentum, whether it can go up right now, I don't think so. एक view है हाँ कि यहाँ पे it's at an important level. This particular line is the 500 EMA. It's a very good long-term moving average, which is basically indication कि शायद काफी नीचे आ गया है. Maybe there's a chance it's at a good level where it brings a lot to the table from a value point of view. But overall अगर momentum की बात करें, then it's lacking momentum. Maybe once it takes support from this level, maybe यहाँ पे अगर हम थोड़ा सा reversal या कुछ देखते हैं, it might make more sense. Again, this is my view. India Bull Housing. Okay. India Bull Housing not looking too good, honestly. This is actually, all this text that you see is from a trade analysis video that I did some time back. One way to look at India Bulls right now would be अगर हम लोग ये कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे, if we do a fib, maybe we'll get an idea, some context into the price movements, because we can see so far the recovery has been from here to here. नीचे आया था right around the 61.8 region, say it's bounced, and now we can see it's above 38.2. But in general, this does not look very appealing to me. So if you were to say कि अच्छा India Bulls का trade है ले लो, I would probably not jump at the first opportunity. Not only because there are some resistances up ahead and it is around the resistance, but also because it's just not a very pleasant stock to trade. अगर आपने India Bulls trade किया है, you know how volatile it can be. I'm not sure how many of you all have traded India Bulls, but if you have, काफी volatile stock, and since it has that additional volatility, it increases the risk by a little. Adani Ports. अदानी पोर्ट्स का एक YouTube वीडियो भी कल आया था. I will first show you the YouTube video and I'll tell you what that video was about, and then I will show you the charts. Just having some club soda. Otherwise, मेरे गले का stop loss hit हो जाएगा. This is the video. When to buy shares and why timing is important in trading. Adani ports के related है ये. You can see Gautam Adani's photo is also here, and you can see Adani ports analysis का text भी है. The point of that video was कि someone we know actually bought Adani ports around this region. यहाँ पे वो लोग ने खरीदा. Reason क्या था उनका कि they said that all Adani stocks are going up. They said Adani ports has not gone up by that much. So they said maybe potential है. काफी, it's a little bit of an odd analysis, but I mean in a way sure you can see that सारे ही अगर अदानी स्टॉक्स ऊपर जाने वाले हैं तो अदानी पोर्ट्स अगर उतना ऊपर नहीं गया, maybe it will catch up. The unfortunate thing was that if you know technicals, you would know that this is not a very pleasant candle. In fact, हम देख सकते हैं the high that it made was on a bearish candlestick pattern. So ideally ये level पे trade नहीं लेना चाहिए. And as a result, if you look 940 buy, and if you look at around yesterday's close of 780, I'm taking yesterday's close for now. I'll tell you आज कितना हो रहा है, because today only it's up by around 5%. But if we go by yesterday's close, then prices were down by 17.02%. 17.02%. Now, obviously, today it's up. So if we do 824 by 940, then you will get 12.34. So if you had put in 1 lakh rupees, आपका 12,340 का लॉस होता. क्यों? Because you did not identify that यहाँ पे distribution type का हो रहा था. यहाँ पे prices were coming back, and obviously hindsight is 2020. That is why if you look at my Nifty chart, मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा भी है hindsight is 2020, because that is always going to be the case. But क्या याद रखना है that when stocks appear to be at good levels, that is in my view the better time to enter, or at least look at entries. ठीक है. For instance, I'll show you some names. Let's say हम लोग Infosys की बात करते हैं. Infosys daily chart है. You can see here I have marked a support, and if you've been a frequent viewer of my channel, आपको पता होगा that this level I have marked for practically over a year. यहाँ पे मैंने mark किया है ये level. So it's not a new level for me. हम लोग देख सकते हैं वही लेवल पे आया where it had come around June also, May June, and now it's starting to bounce. अब आप मुझे बताओ, let's say you wanted to hold on to Infosys even for let's say 2 years, because your one's argument can be कि अच्छा मेरे को तो थोड़ा सा long term के लिए रखना है. I don't want to do फट trading. I want to do LTCG. You purchasing at 1520 versus you purchasing at 1420, there is a gap of 100 points, right? 100 points अगर आप देखते हो, 100 points is around 7 to 8% depending on which denominator you take. Now 7 to 8% का अगर फर्क पड़ रहा है on 1 lakh rupees, that is 7 to 8,000. 7 से 8,000 का फर्क पड़ता है. 7 से 8,000 में क्या क्या नहीं आ जाएगा. So moral of the story being, this is all basic stuff. This is all of course based on probabilities कि चल सकता है, नहीं भी चल सकता. But if you understand that, and if you understand कि ऐसा हो सकता है, if you just apply yourself a little, there is a good chance that you can try and at least make the most of the market. ऐसा नहीं कहूँगा you will beat the market every time. I don't want to give you false expectations. but definitely I'll say कि थोड़ा सा educated guesses or calculated risk में मानो. This holds true for everyone. I'm sure we can all benefit from it, right? Tata Motors. We had a good discussion on Tata Motors last week. So I like cars and Tata Motors पे हम लोग ने मस्त 10-15 मिनट बात की. It's not really moved much from that level. If it goes up from here, it can be a good RR trade. Let's see. As of now, I feel there is a chance because we can see early signs of momentum. अगर यहाँ पे close होता है, this close will be the highest close that we've seen since this candle. This candle was what, 20 September? 20 सितंबर के 15 दिन हो गए ऑलमोस्ट. 15 दिन के बाद हाईएस्ट क्लोज, आधे महीने का हाईएस्ट क्लोज रहेगा, which means maybe Tata Motors might be starting to gain momentum. Let's see how it goes, though I wouldn't be too early to judge either. So let's see again, if you're a Tata Motors trader, if you're accumulating TAMO, maybe not a bad level. But otherwise, agar, as a fresh position, if you want to see, either small amounts or you wait until it actually gains some momentum, would be my view. Which other stock do we have? L&T. LT. Let's look at what L&T is doing. L&T had almost touched 2000 here, but वो नीचे आ गया फट से, and we saw a fairly sharp fall from practically 2000 to around 1800. So कितना around 10% का fall हो गया ये. और वहां से now again we have seen a very strong candle today. But again, आज की candle strong होने वाली है, because as the saying goes, I'm not very familiar with the saying, but as the saying goes, rising tides lift all boats or something is the saying. My father says it a lot. So whatever that saying is, I'm sure you get the point. अगर high tide आ रही है, तो सबसे सड़ी हुई बोट भी ऊपर आने वाली है, right? So I'm not saying L&T is a सड़ी हुई boat, but I'm just saying that there is a chance that many stocks that might not really have that strength or might not have that level of demand to support the price might go up just because market ऊपर है. So that's one thing to consider. Any other questions? We'll look at Nifty Banknifty now. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो, this is where Nifty is likely to close around 15 to 17 to 80 or so. अगर हम लोग चार्ट देख लेते हैं, we can see there is a fair amount of A है in a way uncertainty, because we can see the size of the wicks are increasing, but we can also see the bulls are still holding on. अगर bulls hold नहीं करते, then we wouldn't have seen this type of a candle. Also, it's the 5-minute chart. 5 minute के chart पे since 2:30 we have not seen a single red candle. All green. What does that tell us? It tells us कि भर के buying हो रही है. So FII DI figures, I would be very curious to see how they are today. But even for Bank Nifty, we can see consistent green candles all around. Okay. Dr. Reddy and Adani ports are my big bets. Fair enough. Coal India, Bajaj Finserv. Okay, let's take a look at the stocks that are mentioned. I'll also do one thing. I'll share my YouTube link with all of you, so you can check out my YouTube channel. And at the end of the session, I'll also share my Instagram. But if you just search YouTube channel ka name on Instagram, you'll get it. It's a picture of me, the same picture that's there on Crater. Look at Bajaj Finserv, right? Bajaj. Not looking too bad. Bajaj Finserv in general, stock की personality ऐसी है that when it really wants to go up, it will go up like anything. It will not give you a chance to enter. But if you enter at the wrong time, or if you are not very aggressive with your exits, it has the potential to remove and erode all your gains. I haven't traded Bajaj Finserv a lot, but I have traded it a little bit. So थोड़ा सा idea है. Reddy, let's look at Reddy. Dr. Reddy, I feel there's a very high chance of a breakout. Reason being, we can see in general this has been the resistance 4500 के आसपास. This was the low, higher low, maybe a further higher low. Maybe there's a breakout in the pipeline. Grasim Industries, Coal India. Okay, so as far as as far as stock names go, I think we are good for today's session. I'll just look at the ones that we've mentioned. Hopefully by the markets close, we'll take a quick look at the indices also. Then we can wrap it up. Coal India here हम लोग देख सकते हैं. It's fine. I mean, it's a little bit in the air. आज काफी ऊपर आया है. Typically, we had seen it respecting this trend line in general, but trend line तोड़ दिया है. Maybe weekly पे भी उसने तोड़ दिया है, to be honest. So not much to be said. Coal India is part of my holdings, but again, it's not a trade as much as it's it's just part of my portfolio. So that's the scene. UPL was the other stock, right? UPL is bouncing up from this level. Let's see how it goes. I mean, see, typically such movements do not inspire a lot of confidence in me. क्योंकि sure they are bullish and all, but ठीक है, एक दिन का सुल्तान नहीं होना हमें. We don't want to just go up for one day and then say that wow, big profits. We want a stock that consistently is able to go up. But maybe UPL also has a short right now. If we look at the weekly chart, it's in a way on a weekly flag pattern. So अगर ये weekly flag तोड़ता है, then there is a tremendous upside. So not bad. And finally, let's take a look at Grasim. The markets have ended. It is 15:30. We'll take a quick look at Nifty Banknifty also. Grasim also, in a way, we can see it's kind of a flag pattern, not really very similar to UPL. So I'd say my view is very similar, except that यहाँ पे 1600 के आसपास there is a support and it's holding that level so far. Nifty पे आते हैं just to see where it's closed, and we can see it has not really managed to fill in this gap. ये gap अब तक in a way unfilled रहा है. So let's see overnight कैसा momentum जागता है. On my Instagram I will post a story, और उस story पे मैं बता दूंगा what SGX Nifty is doing. Instagram stock markets with KR. Just sharing my Instagram. You'll be able to see my profile with my face on it, and you'll see that there are quite a few reels that were posted last week. Bank Nifty पे अगर आते हैं, I will share my screen again. JNS I've noted we'll do SAL steel. Bank Nifty पे अगर आते हैं, we can see Bank Nifty is still around 23.6 का level itself. 39,100 it has been able to in a way cross, which is a good sign. But we can see that there was some lack of momentum. What we saw, यहाँ पे high किया उसने लगभग 12 बजे, और उसके बाद it sort of withered away. We were not really able to see another fresh high being formed. Whereas अगर Nifty में देखते हैं, Nifty maybe did close at a high. So even though Bank Nifty is higher, Nifty was able to reach higher. So Bank Nifty में वो gap में मस्त खुश हो गया high बना के, but Nifty continued, and the bulls were filled with perseverance in a way, because they kept on marching ahead. Let's take a quick look at VIX also to see what the situation is. VIX is down by almost 9%, back below 20. Very important sign. Typically, prices start behaving a little calmer around this level or below. So let's see if that's actually going to happen. SAL Steel, last stock for the day. Again, not the type of stock that I typically trade. For the lack of a better word, I'd call this price action horrible. No offense, of course, but I mean, पहला तो ये है कि it's around a resistance, दूसरा ये है it's a penny stock 17 rupees का, and the price action is also erratic. I'm sure, I know that people will be like 8 से 17 हो गया, डबल से ज्यादा हो गया पैसा around एक महीने में. Sure, but like it's not typically the kind of stock that you'd advise someone to say that अच्छा हाँ तुम खरीद लो. So that's my view on such stocks. I mean, it's undeniable how well it's performed. Not really something I would buy. Maybe choti quantity just to try out, not more than that. Other than Tata Motors, what are some motor stocks in portfolio? In my portfolio right now, see, in terms of exposure to autos, I have some stocks. I've got some auto ancillary stocks also. Eicher Motors भी है. Mahindra नहीं है मेरे पास. Typically, I trade in these stocks a lot more than what I invest, which is, I feel, a good thing, because in general, if you look at the auto sector, अच्छा है, sure, Tamo and Mahindra are doing exceptional things, but they are also some very choppy stocks. अगर वो लोग एक बार downtrend पकड़ते हैं, then they don't look back, and typically I'd rather just trade the up move rather than sit and hold on to them. So in that respect, auto stocks in terms of investment portfolio, not a lot. Most of them, if any, are like positional trades or swing trades. So yeah, I hope you found good value in this live stream. Let me know if you did. And I think YouTube folks also had a lot of fun, hopefully. Just making sure that YouTube is still working. Good, it's still working. So do let me know if you've got any other questions. And the next live stream is on Thursday. Thursday, of course, is an expiry session. So typically what I have planned is Tuesday and Thursday will be live sessions on Creator and on YouTube. So please do join in, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're following me on Instagram. If you've got any questions, you can reach out to me on those platforms as well. I'm glad to hear that you all liked the session today, and I'm sure कि next session में और भी मजा आएगा. Let's get that energy, if not more. Maybe we can have like a good can of Red Bull or Monster before the live stream next time, and then we can bring in even more energy. So great, Rahul, I'll consider that. I'll see if I can do that, if it's possible, or at least I'll talk about some investing things as well. I've been planning some investing content too. So let's see. Stock market gives enough energy, more than Red Bull. Wow, that's good. That's a great way to look at the market and its movements. Great. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday, even better Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing all of you all on Thursday. Happy trading, happy analysis. Signing off.